Generation X grandparents, or just grandparents in general, regardless of what your generation is, listen up. Now, I posted that video Saturday, and it's gone viral. Like several other of my videos. That's crazy. Thank you guys so much. But it's like 700,000 views right now. And with that comes a lot of trolls and a lot of negative hate comments. And you're not going to see them on the video because I just delete them and usually block those people because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. And though I am a sweet Southern grandma, I have absolutely no problem hurting your feelings. So I let you leave with the dignity that you're left with. Take it while you can. But I say that to say, let me point out a few things to you based on what those comments have been. Saying, several comments saying, this is what's wrong with the world today and these kids. You're spoiling them. Yeah, I do spoil my grandchild. And I have another grandchild that's due in June on the way, another little girl. And I will spoil her too. And I say spoiling her in the sense that I am rewarding her good behavior, right? Because when she's been good, right, minding her mama, listening, following direction, and doing her chores that have been assigned to her by her mother that are age appropriate for a 5-year-old, making her bed, putting her dirty clothes in the hamper, etc., then she is rewarded by Nana for being a good girl and minding. Okay? That's a far cry from not disciplining your child correctly. That has nothing to do with spoiling. Those are two totally different things. And for those of us who are involved in our grandchildren's life and are doting on them and spoiling them and just giving them everything that we possibly can, it's because we didn't have those grandparents. Now, I can only speak for myself, but I can only imagine that other people have that same experience. I had grandparents, and I stayed with them some, but they weren't active in my life in that way, right? And so I'm making sure that I'm showing up and being present every single possible day that I possibly can and making those memories with my granddaughter because I'm not going to be around forever, okay? Hopefully I am around long enough to see her into adulthood and all of those things, but you never know what can happen. So I want to instill those memories and values in her as often as I possibly can. Now, I'm not just giving her candy and giving her cookies and we're bouncing off the wall. We are teaching discipline. We are teaching manners. We are teaching values and morals and responsibilities, right? Having those talks that are age appropriate for a 5-year-old that will increase in intensity as she ages. You see what I'm saying? So we're not spoiling these children. I'm teaching her how to cook. I'm teaching her how to fold her clothes. I'm teaching her how to plant food and grow food and mend a garden. I'm teaching her a ton of things. I'm not just teaching her that Nana has a checkbook and she gets whatever she wants. And when I say we have grandparents' money, let me explain that to you a little bit. When my children were growing up, I was struggling. And for a time, I was a single parent. And it was hard. It was really hard to pay the bills and put food on the table. So I didn't have the extra money to do those extra things for my children. You know, it was very, very rare. And so having the opportunity to do that now for my grandchild, I'm going to do it. Now, mind you, my adult children still benefit. They still benefit from me. They're trying to, build their life and start out on their life on their own, right? And I'm helping them do that. I'm helping them get established because the economy that we're in right now is not the economy that I grew up in, okay? Long gone are the days of the $500 rent, okay? And so they need a little help. So my children are also benefiting from that, okay? So I'm not making my children feel bad because I have grandparents' money and I can spend that on my children or on my grandchildren where I couldn't on my children. Because, honey, we was just trying to keep them babies alive and keep a roof over their head because we was just starting out and struggling too. And when I say they better not say nothing, y'all know what I mean by that. I can't even believe I even have to explain this. If my daughter has a specific thing that she does not want her daughter to participate in or do, and it's within reason, I'm going to respect her opinions and I'm going to respect what she wants to do with her child because she is the mother of that child. I mean, I'm going to give them a 2 cents, but that's grandma rights. And if I think she's wrong, I'm going to tell her and we're going to have a discussion about it. But having grandbabies is a totally different thing because we're in an age and a time now where we've grown a lot more patient, right? We were just winging it, raising our children, the most of us. And like I said, the most of us didn't have our parents, that we are children's grandparents, to help us along the way in that regard. So we get to see, it's almost like we get to see our children young again. We get to have a do-over, right? And so we want to make sure that we're doing all of the things that we weren't able to do with our own children. We're doing that for our grandchildren. And I give my daughter money and things like that so that she has the money to be able to go and do those things with her daughter separately. Okay? Not that that's any of your business, but that's just a point I wanted to make. And there was also a lot of people that commented on my video and, said that their parents aren't involved in their children's life and they wish that they would be. And that makes me very sad. I don't understand those kind of people. I don't understand what's going on in their life, but I hope that they can come around and give your children those grandparent memories that they truly need and deserve. I think it's important, especially for children to kind of learn that allegiance of what it means to pass down things, from one generation to the next. I think that's highly important. If you're new here, if you just started following me, I started doing TikToks actually exactly 1 year ago. After the passing of our mom. She passed last February from cancer. And I started doing TikToks just as a way to be goofy and silly and, kind of rely on humor, because I think laughter really is the best medicine. And, that good belly laugh, kind of helps heal something deep down and sometimes fill that hole that you're needing. So that's why I started doing TikTok in the first place. And I appreciate all you new people that are following me. I love it so much. I consider each and every one of you personal friends of mine. I really do. And I just hope that my content or whatever I post on here can be relatable. It's been fascinating to me to realize that we've all grown up, no matter where we grew up at or from what time. It was so similar. And that's a connection that I think that we all have. And I think we should spend more time in, celebrating the things that make us more alike than we do using the things that keep us divisive. You see what I'm saying? But back to the grandparents. I'm going to love them babies. I'm going to spoil them babies. And Nana's going to buy them babies whatever she can, whenever she can, within reason. I'm not just buying everything under the sun. And again, I am rewarding good behavior. Now, if she was not being a good girl and she was talking back or being bad or not minding her mother and things like that, then she would not get those rewards. And she understands that if you choose the behavior, you choose the consequence. And that's what I'm instilling in her. Also, money values. I make her save her little pennies and stuff. If she wants to buy something, I teach her the importance of $1. What it means when Nana buys things. Where that money comes from. Okay? Nana's, my kids, when they were little, they used to say, well, you got a checkbook, because they thought that just meant that there's free money. And it doesn't. Okay? I had to work for that really hard. But if you got offended by that video, for whatever reason, I don't really understand. And if you don't have your parents in your life that are that kind of grandparents to your children, I really feel sorry for that. And I hate that for you. And I wish that you had that kind of support. And, if you need somebody to talk to, shoot me a message. I'm happy to talk to you. And, I wish I could have just adopted all the people that just need some love, honey, because that's what we all need. But for the other people that want to say mean things out of saying mean things, don't let the sweetness fool you, honey. Because I'm holy enough to pray for you, but I'm hood enough to swing on you. Y'all be good.